Welcome back, Patriots. Well, yesterday I was sabotaged. Yeah. Now you might have just spit out your coffee going, Brad, what happened, man? No, nobody touched my boy. Nobody's messing with my guy. I got sabotaged. I was here last night and everything was going fine. Having a really nice evening. I was on the couch. I just got done watching The Conjuring 3. Really tired, so I was like, I'm gonna go to bed. Now it's bedtime. Now it's to put this man to sleep. So I was walking. I get into my bedroom. It's pitch dark. Can't see a damn thing. And then I was sabotaged. Yeah. As I'm walking past my normal path, I kicked something extremely hard. Almost broke my toe. Just right there in the middle of my path. Right there. Between the wall and the bed frame. Right there. Nothing's ever been there. For 10 years, nothing's ever been there. My wife thought it was a good idea to lay the vacuum right there. Now, I need to explain something. The only way to get onto my side of the bed is either taking that path or getting on her side and crawling over. And that ain't happening. So, moral of the story is, I was sabotaged. Yeah, and it hurt. Hurt like a motherfucker, dude. Sorry to cuss, but dude, yeah. I thought I broke my toe, man. And it was that part, it wasn't just that it was laying across. It was laying at an angle. It's like one of those Dyson ones, but it's not a Dyson. I'm not paying for that. But, you could separate them into two pieces. So you got like the one that you hold and then, you get the long shaft. That's what she said. Well, the tube part was the part that was kind of like not broken off, but taken apart, facing towards me. And my toe just like this one, not little piggy, this one just, fuck was that? Dude. Yeah, almost wasn't able to do the show, guys. I hurt my toe. I wasn't almost able to do it. I was like an NBA player. I'm out. Not only would I be out, but then, I'd be right. Hey, God, give me donations. I didn't hurt myself. I was sabotaged by my own wife. I'm telling you, man, ladies, you always trying to kill us, dude. I don't know what the hell's going on, but you guys got to get it together. We got enough to worry about. Now you're trying to delete us on our way to bed. Ain't cool, man. That ain't cool stuff. Did it not save my my changes, huh? It kept up my Dark MAGA podcast thumbnail. And it kept up my news headline. What the? Hold on, folks. We got some issues here. This is Friday episode. This thing doesn't want to do anything right. Yeah, so my toe's still hurting. I'm still alive. It didn't want to change my thumbnail for me. So if you could forgive me for one moment here while we're doing a little bit of a show prep. I did have all this selected. That's silly. But we're going to be talking about some, a little bit of, I don't want to say random news, just a little bit of different news. It is a Friday episode, so we spent a little bit more time in the chat with all of you guys. So it's not that bad that I have to fix this right now. But, this is what you get when you're doing something by yourself. You don't have all these cool producers behind you doing it for you. But we got Gavin Newsom news. We got California news. We got Donald Trump news. I mean, we got news wazoo. And then I want to see if we get in a few video clips here rather than me talking the entire time, because I know you guys like the video clips. But un momento, please. Now we got to go into YouTube and change that a little bit. Let me know. What are you guys planning on doing this weekend? You guys doing anything fun? Anything interesting, exciting? Is anybody getting married? I don't think anybody's getting married, but There could be definitely some fun stuff happening this weekend. I am doing a Friendsgiving, and then I am probably going to read some books, play some video games, screw around for a little bit. I don't know. Just chill. Just chill, not bug anybody. Kind of be a hermit. I'm currently reading Secrets of Secrets with Dan Brown, my favorite author. Been kind of chiseling away at that for a while. Normally I read books really quick. Normally I read his books in less than 24 hours. I just haven't had the itch to read, which is very weird. Normally I do. Normally I read a ton. But, sometimes you get in a funk. What are you going to do? All right, let's get rid of that. And hold on, I'm almost done. I apologize. I'm so sorry. This takes forever, man. You guys just think you hit a button, you start the show. And no, it don't work that way. All right, here we go. Come on. All right, we're going to start nonetheless. Well, we got Gavin Newsom here. And we got my home state of California. I know. We have right here something that affects millions of people. And if you think the budget milieu in Sacramento is just another fiscal drama, you're going to have to think again, Patriots, because this warning shot for America's largest state, mine, and it signals what happens when unchecked spending, mass migration, and runaway entitlements basically collides all into one. So we have this here, this report from the California Globe. If you live in California, this news site, just so you know, I've never actually shown this before. This is one of the main sites that I go to when I'm doing my research, my show prep, to see if it overlaps the Daily Wire or something. This is a great news site. So here's what's going on in California. There's some numbers that came out because California's in an $18 billion shortfall. These nonpartisan people in the California Legislative Analyst Office, the LAO, says the state faces an $18 billion budget shortfall for next year. That is $5 billion with a B, more than Governor Gavin Newsom's administration projected just a few months ago. And I know you guys know this. I've told you so many times that these guys they don't know how to do basic math. They don't know how to budget. They don't know where the money's going. These people are idiots. And it's not just the governor. It's like people below him are actually stupid people. It's like, oh, Matt, yeah, well, we're gonna need another $5 billion here, Gavin. The state already signed, get this, a deal with the legislature for $321 billion budget. Yet that still leaves a $12 billion gap. The LAO is projecting the structural deficit to climb to $35 billion annually starting by 2027. And you might be asking, well, where's all this money going, Brad? Like, what's the numbers telling you, buddy? The nonpartisan California Legislature's office, that $18 billion, well, what's driving the crisis from that, or I guess just the budget as a whole, I suppose, is massive spending increases in entitlement programs. It's always entitlement programs. And by the way, it's like that for the federal budget too. Do you realize if we just hammered down on entitlement programs, we'd be fine on not just a state level, but a federal level? So they're increasing entitlement programs, especially Medi-Cal, after spending Medi-Cal to all undocumented immigrants last year. The program now costs illegal immigrant add-ons of roughly $9.5 billion. For those that can't read, it's right there. Like, Brad, how are you looking over here, but you're looking over here? What's here? Because the chat's over here. I suppose I could look into the camera, but it's a little odd. I don't feel like I'm actually talking to you. The state the state paid off a $2.8 billion shortfall just to keep the program running. Yeah, these are all letter B's, you guys. These are not millions of dollars. These are billions, 9.5 billion. So despite all this revenue growth, mind you, we're the highest freaking tax state in the union. Spending mandates built into the Constitution, those are Propositions 98 and 2, and compounding entitlement costs are basically eating away all those gains that we had. The previous quick fix, if you were to read this article, which was the borrowing and the reserves, are completely tapped out. They're gone. California has used over $20 billion in borrowing and has limited tools left when a downturn hits. Basically, we're screwed. You have regional impacts on this whole thing, which are going to be schools, obviously social services, local governments. They're all feeling the squeeze before the full blow actually hits. Now you might be asking, well, good thing I don't live in California, Brad, you sucker, you idiot for living there. Yeah, bitch, you complain all you want, but it ain't touching me, sucker. Like you see from Jurassic Park. Oh, you haven't caught on after being a part of the show for all these years, have you? What do I always say about California? It always affects who? Everybody else. So why does this matter nationally? Well, California is not just a state, folks. It's the economy of Europe. Okay, that's how big California is. Its economy is the size of Europe, appropriate in size and complexity. So when it sneezes, the rest of the country catches a cold, folks. California's example highlights what happens when open border policies, expansive welfare entitlements, and unchecked growth meet finite taxpayer funds. So for us fiscal conservatives, I like to call us the realists. This is the textbook case for structural spending reform. Eligibility tightening, which is what I said a couple minutes ago. And how about just stopping entitlement inflation altogether? People will adapt. They will. You just have to let them adapt. They adapted to taking all this welfare state money. Well, they'll adapt when there's no more money for them to have. And it also signals that blue states are not immune to budget shocks. The conventional wisdom that liberal states can always print money and raise taxes is being tested in this state. And people are fleeing. They're going to places like Texas, Tennessee, Florida. I'll tell you where they're not going. They're not going to New York City. They're not going to Chicago and Illinois. They're not going to Seattle. They're not going to Portland, Oregon. They're not going to all these places. No, not leftist areas. No. They're going to red areas. Earlier this year, California borrowed $20 billion in internal loans from special funds to cover the gaps because these idiots don't know how to budget. They don't know how to do really anything. They can barely fix a road here. The roads, and I'm not exaggerating, probably like a quarter of a mile of a road will take them, and please know this is real. I drive past it every day. It will take them 5 years. No. Yeah, 5-6 years to build and repair a road. Please know I'm not exaggerating that one bit, a quarter of a mile. It will take them about 5 or 6 years to do that here in the state of California. It's wild to build a road that you drive on. Yeah, just a road. No. You're not building a bridge. No, it's just a flat street already. Yeah, they just bulldoze it, put some gravel down, put some shit down. We're good. Yeah. California, there's still areas in California that don't even actually have like sewage. Yeah, the state sucks. Not everywhere. I live in the nice part of the state because I choose not to live in a Democrat-ran area, but it's just me. So $20 billion in loans to cover the gaps. That means tapping reserve funds originally meant for disasters and education, by the way. Kind of the same way that Joey started sending our oil reserves to China. Y'all remember that one? It's like, hey, maybe that was for us, bud. For when a disaster happens, we have an emergency fund, also known as a reserve, to tap into so that we could take care of Americans, not the Chinese. But what do? We always just, shoot ourselves in the foot. It's always fun, isn't it? Just allowing these politicians to just, make stupid decisions. So while Newsom froze new undocumented immigrants from enrolling in Medi-Cal in 2026, those already in won't be removed. So the costs keep growing. So, hey, as long as you get in before I close this sucker down, you're good. So make sure you sign up now on that Medi-Cal. You know what his response was to that? He goes, oh, I never knew so many people would tap into free healthcare. If he does this on a state level and he gets to be president, you guys, you think he's going to do that on a federal level? No, you have to pass Congress first. Really? You think so? Because Democrats have never obfuscated Congress before to do anything. They never would spy on the American people, for example, either. Gee, Crossfire Hurricane, Operation Arctic Frost. I mean, those are just two off the top of my head of just from Joey. That doesn't even include the spying that Barack Obama did, not to mention utilizing the three-letter agencies to go after his political opponents and the conservatives and the Tea Party. I mean, come on, let's not be stupid here. This party's known to do stuff like that. The LAO has come out and warned, saying our revenue estimates do not reflect a recession. Once that hits, the state will be massively exposed. No duh. So that's what we're dealing with in the state. $18 billion shortfall. That's like some people's budget is $18 billion. Can you guys fathom being off by that much money? Like you're not even close to getting the numbers right. You are so far from being in the realm, it is head spinning. Well, we also have this here. California has electricity shortage and they're shifting costs. So today, millions of Americans are being affected by these electricity costs in California. It's not a niche state only issue. It's very similar to our gas. We refine people's gas and we buy gas. And we kind of compete with Nevada and Arizona. So I'm trying to tie this in of how it affects other states, our idiocracy. So it's a warning for basically the rest of the country. Now, the big picture of this article that you need to know is the state's independent watchdog, which is called the Little Hoover Commission, just put out a new report that's on your screen titled The High Cost of Electricity in California. Residential rates in California today is roughly 32 cents per kilowatt. Some sources listed as 31.8. Compared to the US average, okay, I'm paying almost 32 cents per kilowatt. The average for the United States is 16.4 cents. I'm paying double. And you want to know something? It's the same thing for gas. I filled up yesterday, $4.99. That was a good price. $4.99 per gallon. Some people are paying $2.50. Over the past decade, the gap has widened. So just 10 years ago, I was paying $16.25 per kilowatt. I was paying $16.25. The national average was 12.52 cents. So I was 10 years ago paying 30% more than all of you guys. Now I'm paying 93% more. That's a big problem. So what the hell's causing this whole price explosion over the last decade? Well, the Little Hoover Commission and other analysts list several drivers of this whole thing, but they don't dig deep enough, and that's the problem. So we're going to examine both the state causes and the hidden ones, since the Little Hoover little suckers didn't want to do it. So you got to leave it up to Bald Brad to come in and do a little bit of digging for Little Hoover. The state causes are wildfire migration, you had vegetation management, and the so-called, you're going to love this one, wildland urban interface raise distribution costs. Now, this is Little Hoover's commission, not me. Massive capital investments to retrofit the grid for renewables, storage, and transmission. These are stated causes here of why we have a 93% increase. Right now, I'm not sold. You got to love how they put wildfire mitigation and vegetation management. How many wildfires do you guys always see on the news? Like, oh, California's all up in a blaze again. Dude, I see like 3 from the area I live. You guys, please understand that I see these fires with my own eyeballs. I can actually see the flames shooting up into the sky from where I live. Every year, it's the same thing. Oh, yeah, there's that mountain that's on fire again. Oh, it's getting closer. Cool. And you just see the flames. I've driven through these fires before on the 5, like while they're happening, where you're looking over on the side of the highway, like, holy crap, everything's orange. Everything's lit up. There, there's actual like fire that's like breathing over on the highway. I've driven through this stuff before. I've lived it my entire life. And you got to love, well, yeah, you're paying more because of this vegetation management. You're not managing any vegetation. I go camping. There's no vegetation management whatsoever. Everything is dry. It's crispy as a critter. You sneeze and you'll light the thing on fire. Give me a break. They're also saying utility cost recovery, regulation design, and rate structures that shift cost onto residential consumers. That one I believe. Yeah, I definitely feel a lot of costs being shifted onto me. Absolutely. Because you turn off my thermostat. I mean, talk about freaking government control. They control my damn thermostat. Oh, it's a high peak hour, so because it's a high peak hour, you got to pay more. The fuck? Or you just take my tax dollars and get more. Maybe build another nuclear power plant. That would be cool. That's pretty clean energy. They can't do it, you guys. It'll be too close to the houses. Really. Because I've driven through this state before many of times from north, south, east, and west. I've done it a lot over 36 years of being on this earth. Let me tell you, there's a lot of shit out there that ain't out there. There's a lot of land, as far as the eye can see, that there ain't nobody there. A lot of space to build. Don't give me this crap. It's the same stupid argument Joey gave when we had that stupid spy balloon flying over, taking pictures of everything, capturing all our intelligence. I can't blow it up out of the sky. It's too dangerous. It's going to hit a house. It's like, really, you dumbass? There's nothing around for hundreds of miles. It's empty earth. California and the rest of the United States are basically empty. You're not going to hit anything. He's stupid, though. We don't need to get into Joey. We're just going to upset ourselves going into a nice weekend, aren't we? So let me get into what the report misses. Because you always have to, look, I know, if you want it done right, you got to do it your damn self. You do. So why don't all other Western states with freaking wildfire risks pay remotely the same price as I do? Like, for example, Texas has a large renewable build out, but their rates are about 12 to 15 cents. Oh, amazing. So I'm paying 32. And we'll say, yeah, the 32, about 31.8 cents. And they're paying 12 to 15. Same shit. Same problems. Cheaper. So why is California's regulatory and cost burden so much heavier? Well, I'll tell you why. Because you have higher labor costs here, higher permitting costs. The people in the Palisades can't. Did you know most people in the Palisades fire, where everything was basically burnt down to crispy critters, they still haven't built? Hey, Brad, but I remember Karen Bass and Donald Trump. Karen said everybody can get their dumpsters in a week. 24 hours, what she was told. Yeah, no, There's some cleanup. Yeah, their houses still aren't built. It's still empty. All lots are empty. It's just a Just a plane. There's nothing there. Just nothing. Yeah. So we got those regulatory costs that are just crippling people. Also, you have stricter environmental rules in this state that just drive costs through the roof. And I'm going to say, arguably, an anti-competitive utility structure. So why does the state continue closing or limiting conventional baseload plants? These would be like natural gas or, I don't know, nuclear power plants in favor of intermittent renewables is what they want to do. If, you know what I need to do? Now that I think about it, I need to get some drywall in here. Now, don't get me, this is drywall. Yes, this is not rock. This is drywall. I know it looks good, right? We're in a closet here. Because I just need something to put my head through. You know what I mean? For everything that just drives you nuts, I just need to start taking planks and just boom, put it through the head. Ah, boom. It's so obvious. The same people that talk about we need clean energy. We need clean energy. Yeah, build nuclear. You just build nuclear. So they're either closing or they're even limiting the natural gas and the nuclear plants in favor of these stupid intermittent renewables. Yet they still pay top dollar when the backup is needed. The Little Hoover Commission here notes gas plants ran only at 26% at capacity. They only ran 26% in 2024 when they could have been doing far more. So why does it matter to you? Let's get to that. Because none of this matters if it doesn't matter to you. This isn't just about an elevated utility bill for me in California and us Californians. It's a blueprint for what happens when ideology overtakes economic reality because these idiots don't deal in reality. When electricity is expensive, everything else, guess what? Becomes more expensive. Manufacturing relocates. Jobs leave. Economic growth filters. Household budgets are squeezed. Lower income families spend a higher percentage of income on utilities. California, I looked at this. California ranks among the highest for households under 200% of the poverty line spending. Look at this. 4.4% of their income on just electricity alone. I'm very careful with that wording. Not gas, not all this. Electricity is almost 5% of their entire household budget. No, it does not need to be that much. It's the same thing for gas here in the state of California. California has two different blends. We have a summer and winter blend. You know, I've played hockey in Calgary, Canada, where it's cold as bleep. There ain't no winter blend there. I've been on the East Coast. I used to live in Maryland. So can somebody explain to me, and I might be wrong on that. Look, I'm willing to shut my damn mouth here. Been to a lot of states, almost all 50. Haven't been to all 50, but I played hockey in a lot of states. Traveled there many, many, many of times throughout the course of 20 years plus of playing hockey. Not two blends. And let's just make the case that you did have two blends. At least you'd have a case to have both of those, a summer and winter blend. It is always summer here in California. Why do we need a winter blend? It's hitting like 55 at night. That's it. On a cold day, it'll be like 65. That's not cold. It's cold for us here in California, but not something where you need to freaking do two blends. Are you stupid? Well, it cleans and burns energy more efficiently, and it gets rid of the smog. Don't you like clean air? You don't want your kids breathing dirty air, do you? I don't think you need two blends. I think you need one. I think you're trying to sell us on a lie. In the same way we were sold on a lie on all this climate change. And then you got Bill Gates coming out 2 weeks ago and saying, yeah, it turns out everything's going to be fine. All that fear mongering I did on you guys. Yeah, it's total bullshit. Yeah, sorry. I get things wrong from time to time, you know? Yeah, we know, Bill. We know. You don't have to tell us that you were wrong and that things aren't going to change all that much. Yeah, we've been saying that for, 20 years. Yeah. You don't have to tell us. Now, the people you have to tell is your climate extremists, those liberals, those Democrats is what we call them in totality, that holistic view of them. Yeah, you need to go tell those psychos because they don't get it. We don't need to be told. Yeah, you don't have to lecture us. We're good. In the same way, you don't have to lecture us on COVID. We knew how that all worked too. Yeah, we were called conspiracy theorists in the same way we're called conspiracy theorists when it comes to climate change. But you're lecturing to the wrong crowd, brother. Yeah. See, I'm not lecturing my audience. I'm filling them in on what these knuckleheads are doing here. They know. That's why I don't treat them like they're dumb. Yeah, see, we know as conservative Republicans what's going on. We don't live under rocks. Yeah, we know men can't become women. You don't have to lecture us. We know that. Mm-hmm. But your side does, Bill. So go talk to them. So this becomes a lesson for basically federal, and I would say state policy, obviously. You cannot indefinitely force cost mandates. I'm talking like grid retrofits, like wildfire costs, renewable mandates, and expect normal price behavior. But Gavin does because he's an idiot. So where should we focus reform then so we could get something a little bit cheaper? Well, according to analysts, and what we should push as conservatives here is re-optimize conventional energy sources. And what I mean by that is allow natural gas plants and nuclear to operate efficiently. Stop prematurely retiring all these plants and build new ones. Stop giving $20 billion to illegal aliens. You could take that $20 billion. Let's say you saved it up for just 4 years. $80 billion could probably build a pretty nice nuclear power plant. Probably a pretty good one. Maybe a couple for all I know. Get Elon out there. The technology we have for these nuclear power plants, you guys, isn't like what we saw over there in Japan and Russia. I mean, you're almost to the point where these rods will never go out. Our technology is beyond belief with nuclear now. We're just not using it because people are idiots. Reform the utility regulatory structure, please, for the love of God. Incentivize cost-reducing investments. How about you bring in some competition and reduce non-essential capital expansions? That would be cool, too. And then maybe do a fixed rate design. Instead of hiding costs, what they do is they do these OPEC-like surcharges here in the state. How about you stop doing that and move towards, transparent, usage-based cost recovery? They always hide this crap from us. There was a guy, and it wasn't even California, it was another state. The dude couldn't figure out why his electricity was so high when he was turning off his breaker. So the dude would shut down the power of his entire house, and he was watching his meter, and his meter was still going. I'm going to say this again because I think people misunderstood me. The guy shut off all power to his house. There was nothing going in, and his meter was still going. I think he was doing this for 20. It's either 10, 20, or 30 years. I think it was like 30 years or something. Check this out. The dude was paying for somebody else's electricity for like 30 years. These idiots that got all this stuff going couldn't even hook up the correct house. That's a real story. Let me see if I can find that for you real quick. I don't think it was in California. The dude was paying for like his neighbor's electricity bill for like 30 years. Let me see if I can find that. It's hilarious. Let me see. Yeah, right here. Check this out.
A Northern California man is shocked after he finds out he's been paying someone else's utility bill for years.
This story is really crazy. Ken Wilson lives alone in his Vacaville apartment when his bill spiked a few months ago.
So it is California. It's in Vacaville.
He tried to cut back, even buying a device to tell him how many watts his appliances were using. The bill stayed high, and he finally called PG&E, and that's when he found out he's been paying the bill for the unit next door, possibly for 18 years.
even after I turned off my breakers, I kept going outside to check my meter to see if it was still running, and it was still running, and I couldn't believe it.
PG&E has owned up to the mistake and says it is committed to making it right, though it has not said exactly how. This is probably a rare occurrence, but here's a tip just in case. The meter ID number is listed on the monthly bill, so it might be a good idea to check to make sure they match.
Tell me that's not crazy. By the way, I don't know if he sued them or not. I mean, I would imagine there should be a lawsuit on that, and PG&E should be paying for the difference in. I don't know how you calculate the difference, but I guess you could look at the unit of what the unit paid for. That should have been his, and figure out the cost differential over a certain amount of years, which you should have the data for. Cut that guy a check. Cut it. It's like so crazy. So here's my final take on this whole thing, then we're going to move on. California is paying nearly freaking double here in national average for just electricity. And that's not a statistic, it's a signal. It signals that when policy provides ideology over affordability, mandates over freaking markets, and future ambition over present costs, you get forced outcomes. And those forced outcomes are going to be higher bills, you get less growth, and households are stretched in their budgets. So for the rest of the country, especially states looking to scale renewable mandates, they want to electrify freaking everything. You saw it from Democrats, or adopt these high cost regulatory models. This is your warning, man. Look at California. Driving our freaking state right into the ground. And again, I'm going to repeat myself. I'm bringing this up because Gavin's going to run for president of the United States, and he could very well win. Democrats love that guy. I said that yesterday during Dark MAGA. I've also said it numerous times over the years. The enthusiasm for that man by especially white liberal women is insane, dude. They find him hot and masculine and intelligent. He does this guy could slap them across the face and they would say, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" It doesn't matter what he does. He could destroy their entire house and they will still vote for him. Oh, you don't have proof of that, man. You're taking it too far. Palisades fire. Palisades fire. Do you know how many of those Democrats had their houses burned down because Gavin Newsom didn't want to clear out brush and do his damn job? Folks, there's no water. He couldn't even, the basic thing he couldn't even do, provide water. Yeah. And you know what they'll go do in 2028? They will leave their Airbnb because they can't actually live in their house that was never rebuilt because Gavin Newsom and the Democrat Party won't allow them to build it. And they will sprint as fast as they can to those polls and pencil in Gavin Newsom like you fucking never been able to see before. And I know you're sitting there thinking, Brad, that's crazy. Like that's no way. You ain't never been to California, man. Let me tell you. You ain't never been here then. These liberal women love that guy. Their fucking house was burnt down. It's ash. And they will still vote for that guy and say he's doing everything he can for us. It's like, bro, your house burned down like a year ago, dude. Like, you should be building already. Like, what are you talking about? Freaking idiots. Well, he's going to rise up and he's going to change the country in the same way he changed California. I agree with that. Yeah, he will change the country for the worse. Yeah, probably the truest statement you ever said. Oh boy. All right, what do we got here? Okay, well, let's do this. Let's since we're on the thing of California, let's switch to this, and then we'll kind of we'll jump into some other stuff here. Eric Swalwell. I just can't catch a break in this state, can I? I cannot catch a break. The Bay Area Democrat, a 7-term congressman and former prosecutor, announced his 2026 run for governor. stressing two key roles: protecting illegal immigrants and research cuts, while making life more affordable enough to start a job, family, and home in 1 decade. He's 45. He's drawing on his Dublin roots, it says, police family background, and impeachment leadership against Trump to highlight public safety and housing needs amid crime and homelessness worries. The wide open race features rivals like Katie Porter and new entrant Tom Steyer, with reactions online praising his fighter spirit, but mocking his Kimmel choice and past controversies. What is this?
I'm Eric Swalwell, and it's this simple. The next governor of California has 2 jobs. 1, keep the worst president in our history out of our homes, out of our streets, and out of our lives.
Yeah, that's not a thing because you're a state. Federal supersedes state, so it's just a bunch of bullshit. But because people are too stupid, they are going to believe it.
Buying food at the grocery store is getting more expensive.
No one will keep Californians safer than I will. No one.
Folks, we're 19 seconds in. Hold on a second. So from second 9 to second 19, in 10 seconds, he contradicted himself. Those illegal aliens, not all of them, those illegal aliens in California make up criminals, gang members, violent gang members, murderers in some cases, cartel, MS-13, the Latin Kings, trafficking, kidnapping little girls and selling them off into forced labor. All that stuff exists in California. In 10 seconds, he contradicted himself. That is remarkable. In messaging, that's really hard to do. In 10 seconds, I would say really 9, he contradicted himself. Think about how fast you'd have to speak to contradict yourself in 9 seconds. He did it, though.
No one. Nancy Pelosi selected me for the Intelligence Committee and to help lead the impeachment of a corrupt president. Californians will never bend the knee. And 2, bring us a new California. California is the 4th largest economy in the world. So shouldn't we be a state where you can take your first job, have your first kid, and buy your first home in the same decade?
You guys, come here real quick. Huddle up. Everybody, put down your coffee. Come here. Hut. Shouldn't you be able to do all these things? He's a Democrat, you guys. He's a Democrat. Do you know who has been running the state? A Democrat. He's acting as if Donald Trump's running the state or some Republican. Eric, come here. Huddle's over. I got to talk to Eric for a second. Come here. Eric, come here, you dumbass. Come here. You guys run the state. I know you're shocked because your head's so far up. This right here, the big green booty. Matter of fact, here you go, Eric. Get that right there for you, buddy. Oh, jeez! He didn't even want Eric swallowing his tushy. There you go, Eric. That's for you. You guys drove this state into the ground, Eric. And you're going to brag about Nancy Pelosi saying you should be a part of some committee. She helped drive the state into the ground. She's been in office since I've been alive.
And one where you can fill that home with food and flood it with light. I'm Eric Swalwell.
He's running for governor!
we can build ourselves a new California that we can share in together.
Why would you have to build a new one? Sorry, hold on. I totally screwed that up. My bad. I thought you guys were watching. She says we have to build a new one. Oh, where are we at? I screwed that up. That's my bad.
California is the 4th largest economy in the world. So shouldn't we be a state where you can take your first job, have your first kid, and buy your first home in the same decade? And one where you can fill that home with food and flood it with light. I'm Eric Swalwell.
He's our neighbor governor!
We can build ourselves a new California.
Why? Why? Why would we have to build a new one? You guys are doing such a great job. What? Why would you break something that's not broken? Huh? Weird.
That we can share in together.
No, we're doing it. We're going to the chat. Let's see what people are saying here. My masks protect you. Your masks protect me. It's really that simple. Eric Swalwell, real cops don't wear masks. Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, dude, that's brutal. This message is Fang Fang approved. Wasn't he hooking up with like a Chinese spy or something like that? Wasn't Nancy Pelosi's driver a spy or something like that too? Chinese spy? I only bring that up as what are the odds that they both were dealing with Chinese spies, and then she puts them forth in like some sort of intelligence committee. Oh my God. The hell is this? Breaking news. First trans representative pleads guilty to child porn and exploitation charges. Jeez. Campaign 2022 Lofton. Jeez. Goodness gracious, man. Yeah, there you go. 2 California refineries closing. 70% of California refining capacity lost. Gasoline imports from India's refineries. Everything's fine. Everything's good to go. All right, what is this? Blackhawks bring back beloved alternative jersey. Oh, it's not alternative jersey. They've had the same jersey forever. Stop it. You've had the same jerseys. I'm a hockey fan. I'm like, come on, let's not. We're bringing back the Centennial jersey. Okay, you brought back the armbands. That's all you brought back. Goodness. All righty, let's see what else we got in the news. Let's do, let's see. We haven't done this in a while. Let's see. Finkstein driver. Finkstein or Feinstein? Oh, Feinstein. You're talking about Feinstein. That was her driver? Is that who that was? I know somebody here had the driver. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys this clip here. Scott Jennings was accused of racism over IQ remark in Epstein debate. I saw this yesterday. Look at his face. I love it. All right, so here's the clip. I thought there was a longer one. Is this it? Hold on. I want to make sure this is actually the full clip. It's not the full clip. Hold on a second. Let me see if I have the full clip for you. I thought I retweeted it. I might have not. I did not. Shame on you, Brad. See if I can find that clip for you all. Yeah, so he was talking on CNN about the Epstein stuff, and here it is. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. And he calls this guy right here a low IQ individual, and then there's another guy that's black that starts calling him racist for calling him low IQ because he's a black guy. We're in the realm where you can't criticize somebody just because they're black. You're not criticizing them because they're black. Like, oh, I'm criticizing. It's just you're criticizing them. They so happen to be black. And so now you're a racist. So you can't criticize black people because they're black is what black people are saying. Even though race has nothing to do with the thing that you're criticizing them about. If you were criticizing them for being black, yeah, that's a problem. But you're not. You're criticizing them for their low. I mean, if anything, you're criticizing them for their character, maybe, or for their intelligence, or for their stupid behavior, whatever it may be, in the same way that you would do that to any other race out there as well.
Scott, you keep saying, well, he didn't do anything. There's no indication of criminality. If that's true, he should be elated that we're putting these things out.
If that's true, it is true. Can you name any evidence?
I would like to see the evidence. What I'm saying is...
You think after 10 years of public life, you wouldn't know it already?
No, I don't. That's exactly the point.
Oh, my goodness.
Scott,
this is an IQ test. Don't fail it. Come on, man.
Scott,
10 years Donald Trump has been in public life.
That's embarrassing.
Scott, it is an IQ test. I mean, for 10 years, we haven't heard any names. So you really think that no one's involved?
No, obviously, Larry Summers was involved, Stacey Plaskett was involved. There's all kinds of people involved with Jeffrey Epstein.
If someone was...
Just real quick, I just want to bring it back to something that just happened. I feel like I just heard Scott call into question this black man's intelligence with the IQ test.
That's what
I feel like I heard that. And so I just want to say something. This is what it sounded like.
You want to make it racial, go ahead, but it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I think that...
By the way, we know each other and we're friends. I know this man. He's a smart guy, and we're having a debate. We're having a debate. Don't make it into something. We don't even know each other, but we do.
This actually relates back to the topic that we're having, Scott. There is you're sitting here with so much confidence without seeing all of the documents that Donald Trump is innocent. There is a presumption of...
By the way, they're doing the exact same thing, though. They haven't seen all the documents either, and they're saying that Donald Trump is guilty. And Scott would be the right one in this country. I'm sorry. This is a huge point that I want to make here. Scott is correct in saying that Donald Trump is innocent. Everybody else in this panel that's saying Donald Trump is guilty are the wrong ones. This guy literally, you are innocent until proven guilty in this country.
Of guilt that a black man walks around the United States with. That I have been watching Donald Trump.
What the hell are you talking about, you dweeb?
Sitting here with so much confidence without seeing all of the documents that Donald Trump is innocent. There is a presumption of guilt that a black man walks around the United States with, that I have been watching Donald Trump navigate this situation with the presumption of innocence that is never afforded to us, right? This is the same guy that is trailing 29 rape allegations. And we have videos of him saying things like, grab him by the you-know-what. Just the very fact that he's connected to the country's most egregious pedophile, enough. That fact alone is enough for us to ask questions about if it's a disqualifying factor for leadership. So I just don't know why you're so fervent right now, saying that I know for a fact he has not.
You see the projecting? Scott is literally sitting back, just letting him talk. And he's like, I don't know why you're so fervent right now, when he's the fervent one. You will see this, and this is why it's almost tough to just watch Democrats, is because once you open your eyes to the fact that most of them just do nothing but project, everything just kind of falls apart, and it's just a complete waste of time and almost talking to them. Oh, you're the one that's acting crazy, as they're screaming in your face. You're the racist, as they're acting racist. You're the fascist, as they're literally acting out fascist behavior. Almost everything that they do is all projecting. And at some point, that's why you almost don't listen to them or you don't watch them anymore. I do it because I do a show here and I got to go, oh, this is what they're saying. This is what I saw over here. This is what's going on. But it's just all projecting of like, this is what they're doing. That's all it is.
Can we see the files and make that decision? Scott?
Look, here's what I think. It's been going on for 10 years. If there was a shred of anything to know about Donald Trump, we would already know it. What do we know? We know
I'm answering your question. Is not the evidence of absence.
We know that Donald Trump knew Jeffrey Epstein, and we know that he excommunicated him from Mar-a-Lago and his life. We also know that after Epstein was convicted, that powerful Democrats continued to stay in touch with Jeffrey Epstein. This is not a story about Trump. It is a story about powerful men. Many of them are in the Democratic Party. We're going to find that out. You can't wash away the politics.
We got to hit pause on this conversation.
Republican versus Democrat.
That's because every Democrat goes on TV and accuses Trump of having done something
any of these
untoward.
files, by the way.
Yep, Scott is right. Once again, Scott is right. Isn't that amazing? They can just have one man like Scott. It just destroys an entire panel of Democrats. It's hilarious. It is hilarious.
Scott, you keep.
All right. Well, I think we'll end it there. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's standing out to me really quick before I get off air. Like maybe there might be like some breaking news or something. Oh, what is that? What? Oh no, that's old news. Okay, never mind. You guys already know that. It was. If you're curious, I don't want to do that to you. It was this right here. I thought she got punched again. Conservative activist punched in face, files lawsuit after Manhattan DA admits error. So, this was news a while ago, but yeah, it's how they act, man. They're violent people, dude. The left are violent. I mean, obviously, right? They went after Donald Trump, tried to kill him 2 times. They literally killed Charlie Kirk. They assassinated and murdered the man. They harass and abuse, and not just verbally, but physically, conservatives, Republicans, independents in the streets. They go after their own people. These people are violent. Violent people. I've really spent time. I do think some of these people on the left are demon possessed. I fully believe that. I'm not trying to go into some spooky adventure stuff here. But when you see the anger, and I hope nobody on my show has this kind of anger, where you feel the need that you get so emotional that you think it's right to just flip off a stranger or start yelling at them for cutting you off or whatever. Like, you need to control your emotions. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm not better than any of you guys, but I don't have that kind of like raw emotion that comes out if somebody cuts me off on the highway. I live in California. Traffic's everywhere. Shit happens all the time. But I really do believe that. That is my opinion. I think some of these people are straight up demon possessed, man. I think there's so much evil in these people. And that ain't leaving until you actually come to Christ and you start going to church and you getting a handle of those emotions. Because right now, Satan's the one that's in control of those emotions. And now he's causing people to freaking go kill other people or hit people. You don't get to go walk up and just punch somebody in the face because you think they're a fascist or Nazi. Oh, you wouldn't punch a Nazi in the face? No, I wouldn't, because I don't want to go to jail. I don't have to agree with them, but I'm not going to go punch them in the face. I don't know if anybody agrees with me on that, but I fully believe that these people are demon possessed. Not all of them, of course, but the ones that are out there like Antifa wearing all black and going out there harassing police and screaming at them in their face. Yeah, I do think those people have demons in them for sure. You don't act like that. A normal human being would not act like that. No. And then what they'll try to do is rationalize that behavior. No, that's the demons trying to rationalize the behavior, man. That ain't, no, Maybe I'm going too far with that. I don't know. I mean, if you just look at their face, right, it's like scrunched. The amount of anger that's coming out of that person. The only thing, and I've done a lot of thinking before I've said this finally on air. This has not come out in like a week of thinking or 48 hours or 24 hours. No, this is months. I'm just looking at their faces and the way that they do things. It's like to have that kind of anger. I only see that on the side of evil. And Republicans and conservatives have that anger too. I'd say mostly Republicans. Conservatives, that wouldn't be a conservative value. You don't act like that. That's why the Tea Party was so strong. I mean, when the Tea Party would go out and do protests, like, we cleaned up afterwards. We took all our stuff up and we put it in the trash cans, really nice, and we walked away. We didn't harass anybody or do all these things like you see. We didn't punch anybody in the face. No. Because a lot of us are Christian or Catholics. And, this is what I see. Just what I see. Well, we'll most likely be on the lookout for Spooky Adventures tomorrow, you guys. I might actually release it tonight. We will see like a late night Spooky Adventures. Matter of fact, a lot of you have been asking like, hey, how do I watch that? Well, if you're into that paranormal stuff, it's just a fun channel. It has nothing to do with politics. If you want to go over there and subscribe, and what I will say, if you watch an episode, try to watch it all the way through. If it gets boring for you, we'll just leave it on and just let it play because it helps our watch time. It will help our analytics. So YouTube tracks everybody individually. So if you leave the stream or you don't hit that thumbs up button, you do all these things, it actually hurts me. It hurts me so much to where it's almost as if like you never watched in the first place would be better. I know it sounds like a jerk thing to say, but in terms of analytics, rather than you clicking on the show, watching for 5 minutes and then leaving, yeah, you get a view out of it, but it actually is extremely detrimental to your overall analytics because it's only going to track your 5 minutes of watch time when the show's an hour. Well, that's going to drop the average down drastically. And they're going to say, well, people aren't interested in watching Brad. We're not going to promote his videos. So just got to be careful, please, that if you decide to watch one of my videos, would appreciate if you watch it all the way through. If you want to go above and beyond, you do not have to do this, folks. I'm just giving the whole thing is watch the stuff all the way through. So we should have another one out tomorrow. I'm going to try to record that later today. It's Spooky Adventures. Yes. Did my link not go through? I have such a bad delay. You know what? Let me do this. It's such a bad delay. It hasn't sent it yet. I put it in the chat already. I don't know. There's something going on with Rumble. Let me do this, you guys. I thought I put it in the chat. Did it not appear? Let me see. Do like click all these links here. Chat already. I don't know. There's something going on with Rumble. Let me here we go. There's YouTube. And premium called Brad. Oh, there we go. For some reason it said my comments weren't working. All right. All right, there's a link if you want to subscribe. We got 172. We're trying to grow this channel. My goal for next year is to grow this channel. There's 107 videos, man. 107 videos. So we're going to try to grow that one and to spend a little bit more time getting that up and going. Satan is leading the left. It seems that way. Absolutely. It definitely does seem that way. Alrighty, folks. Well, I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Check out for Spooky Adventures. We might try to upload a couple videos over the weekend for Bald Brad. Those will not be live. Those would just be normal videos. Next year, if we keep doing what we're doing, which I think we are, I'm going to try to go back to how the show used to be a little bit, where we do a live show, but there's also, 3 videos spread out throughout the day as well, and then a bunch of shorts. So we'll see if we can manage that type of old content, old material, and going back to just our grassroots and see if we could take it a little bit further and maybe calm down a little bit on the politics just slightly. Go like we used to cover more of like entertainment as well, not drama, but like entertainment. We used to cover a lot of the stuff that's going on in the school systems with the drag queens and stuff like that. Maybe get a little bit into that realm again and kind of spread out our portfolio here back to how we used to do and cover a little bit more different topics, like talking about California or talking about the entertainment industry, talking about what's going on in that school, stuff like that. And I think that's important. And I miss it, to be honest. All righty, folks. Well, have a blessed weekend. Pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. Read your Bibles. Read your scriptures. And just your day will start better. Just when the show ends, just open up the scriptures really quick. Read a sentence, man. Read John 1:1. There you go. Read John 1:1. I would say read John 1 through 4 or 1 through 5. I think the first paragraph is. And just start your day off that way. I think it'll be great. Boise School Districts had 15 SA lawsuits currently active. Wow, I'll check that out, Dave. Appreciate that. All right, folks. God bless you. Take care of yourselves. Appreciate you. See you later.